Hello, everyone, and welcome into episode 3 of 8-Bit by Bit. My name's Rick, and I'm joined with the wonderful Leem. Leem, say hello.
Hello.
Hello. We're here again to talk to you all about our journey through Hyrule in the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, which we are playing through bit by bit for this podcast. If this is your first time here, this is going to be a terrible place to start because we're a little bit into the game now. So you might want to go back to episodes 1 and 2, where we start the game off and kind of explore everything from the very beginning. I myself have never played this game before. I'm brand new to the entire series, and this is my first kind of proper foray into a Zelda game. But Liam, you've played the game one time before?
One time fully, and I've dabbled in and out. Dabbled. Not the dab.
Just come in and Hyrule. Dab.
Dabbing all through.
And then you've run out again. That's fine. That's nice.
Yeah, I've dabbled before.
Brilliant.
I've got a bit of knowledge, I guess.
Some knowledge. Some master mode dabbling there as well.
Master mode dabbing too. It's been great. Yeah.
I love a master mode dab.
Mm-hmm.
Dab?
That's
no.
great.
If you want to dab, you got to go to Liam's channel and pay 1 million channel points. If you want to dab from Liam. Yeah.
It's actually 999,999. Not quite a million, but close to it. Yeah.
Or you can spend 1,000 in my channel and get a recording of him doing it not for free.
Yeah.
A lot cheaper. A lot cheaper. But it's not live. It's an old dab. So
yeah.
Anyway, episode 3. So this episode, we are taking on our first ever Divine Beast, which I'm kind of excited for. We finished episode 2 by getting to Zora's Domain. We did the winding path of Absolute Doom, which I hated. I'm not going to lie. That was a terrible, terrible experience. But now we are in Zora's Domain. We did the first bit of prep to get all of our shock arrows to take on the beast, and we finished just before we dove down. It finished at quite a nice place, actually. The ending of last episode with the Lionel was pretty much like right at the peak of that entire area where you could just kind of dive down into where the Divine Beast was.
Yeah, you just jump right down, or glide rather, but yeah.
Yeah, I did a glide. Well, I fell off the mountain. I think I said in the last episode, I fell off the mountain because I tried to read the sign that was like, it said like jump at your own risk. And then I still had like the forward stick pressed when I came off the sign, so I literally just ran off the edge. So I technically started this at a ridge underneath that peak, but it was high enough. It was still good. So did you dive in? Did you go straight to the Divine Beast?
I did.
Well,
so the way that I've been playing on stream and off stream.
Uh-huh.
Off stream has been a bit more about like exploration and like newer areas that I've not been to before.
Okay.
So before I did the Divine Beast, I did some other local things in the area, but when I got I killed a second Lionel.
Okay.
And I found some more Korok seeds and some like better weapons, I guess. Okay. And then I was like, I'm ready. Let's just go for it. And I started the entire process.
Brilliant.
I was like fully ready, by the way. I had like 150 arrows. I had like 70 shock arrows, and then like 40 of the other arrows, and then I had loads of like really good weapons as well from the Lionels. I was like stacked.
Okay, I
felt very confident.
I felt confident, but not like that confident. That was kind of impressive. I had some things. The best stuff I had was the stuff that I got from the Lionel that I just murdered. So I got that stuff. And then I think the sword was really good, but it was also not great. I think it broke pretty quickly. Preparation, Rick, you should try it. Get fucked. So I wasn't that ready, but I did decide to just go straight into it. I was like, well, nothing quite like the present. So dive straight down, follow the quest marker to like a pier, which again looks really, really good. I'm sorry if you can hear Gambit in the background. He is running through his tube right now. The pier itself again looks really, really nice. Everything, all the architecture in this place looks gorgeous. Like
it's really pretty. Yeah, I love it. Yeah.
Apart from the Divine Beast itself, the Divine Beast looks hideous. I don't suppose that is supposed to look hideous, but they look bad. Well, at least the elephant does.
The general design of them, you mean?
Not the design necessarily, just like the clunky brick yellow architecture. I just don't know. I wasn't vibing with it that much.
Yeah.
But again, that's potentially just on me. So yeah, float down and meet Sidon at this dock, and he decides to help us, which I question because half the reason that we were brought here was because we were told that they couldn't go near the divine beast.
Yeah. And then he just risked his life, I guess.
But
Because it was
did
like,
he? Did he?
well, because they were like the thunder kills them, right?
Yeah.
But then there isn't any point in which the elephant emits lightning.
No. The only thunder is the shock arrows. And the shock arrows
Yeah.
kill us as well. If I was to fire a shock arrow at myself, I would also die. I'm not immune to electricity. Like, I don't quite understand why we were so important in this plan. I
think
don't
they're just lazy.
Maybe.
Trying to pass it on to us.
Potentially. I think they were lazy. Yeah. Lazy fish. Lazy fish.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we can do that right now. Poll between the two of us. Sidon, smash or pass?
Smash.
Smash. You were very quick with that. You didn't even think about it.
I'm ready. I'm prepared for that.
I've got the bag ready in case the Sidon call comes. I can just grab my Sidon smash bag and quickly run and get smashed by Sidon. I have to admit I'm a pass. Sorry. He is very attractive, but he is also a fucking shark. And I don't know if I could go through with that. My galleophobia was fine up until a bit later in here, which isn't a bit of a spoiler, but you go back and talk to the king at one point, and like he leans in like really close to the camera, and that set my galleophobia off a little bit.
Okay.
So I kind of, no, I can't be doing that. I also realized that the Zora, they're not actually sharks. They're like humans, but their heads are shark, and like their hair is sharks.
Yeah, they're like a hybrid sort of moment.
Yeah. It's really bizarre. When I actually looked at it properly, I was like, this is actually a little bit fucking weird. Like, just having like...
They're not just sharks. One of them's like a manta ray too.
This is true. Yeah. The racist one is like a hammerhead as well.
Yeah.
So, anyway, I wasn't there. Oh, wait, we actually have a poll. How's the poll doing?
It's doing great. I can see.
I'm going to I'll put my pass vote on just in case. But it looks like Sidon has plenty of tail to choose from. Anyway, so we there we go. We jump into the water with Sidon, and I have to admit I wasn't expecting too much of this. I thought it was gonna be over quite quickly, but I was wrong. As in, when you're in the water with Sidon, there is like some not quick time events, but like some easy combat things. You have to like fire some like ice blocks and stuff out of the sky. Which is pretty easy. And then you have to use the waterfalls that are coming out of the elephant to swim up to get enough air time to then shoot arrows into his shoulder.
Yep.
And this is pretty easy. I found this pretty easy anyway.
Yeah, straightforward. Yeah. I mean, I've done it before, so
yeah. I
didn't really expect anything to... Did you expect like a build up like that, or did you expect to just go straight in?
I didn't know what to expect. So I didn't know if it was going to be this. I didn't know if we were going to fight the divine beast in some way itself. I really didn't know what to expect, honestly. I have managed to stay completely like oblivious to that side of the game, like not knowing the details of that. So even this part was a bit like, okay, cool. Like I thought this might be like the start of the fight, and this is like phase 1 of the fight essentially. But then no.
When I first played it, I thought when I first played it years ago, I thought you shot the shock arrows at the elephant in the 4 spots, and then it might have like summoned something to fight properly.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously, it doesn't do that. You just gain access to the elephant itself to navigate it like a puzzle. So it is like a longer experience than it's kind of like led to believe. I guess I don't know. I didn't mind it though. I quite enjoyed like the navigation of the elephant. I found it quite fun.
Yeah, no, it was good. It was good. Yeah, I think once I was inside, I was like, okay, this is kind of a bit more what I was expecting. Something I was told kind of beforehand was that the divine beasts make up for like the temples and the dungeons of Zelda in Breath of the Wild. And again, I don't know much about Zelda, but what I do know is that obviously there are quite big temples and dungeons and stuff in the previous games that are quite like large, sprawling, and they're full of puzzles and that kind of stuff. So I had I had that in the back of my mind, kind of like, okay, in some way there's going to be a puzzle to this, but I wasn't expecting like what was handed to me, which was like you literally like the divine beast essentially opens up and you get to go inside, completely alone as well. Which again, a little bit weird because the only thing that the Zora were having problems with was shooting the
The
electric
shock.
arrows, not the going in the inside and doing everything else. Again, I'm not trying to say that they're lazy, but
They could have swarmed. We took it
literally.
down, and then they could have just like sent an army to like help out.
And the thing was full of water, so they would have been in like the perfect
Their element.
environment with no
Yeah.
electricity. You know, it's fine. It's fine. I'm used to people in video games dreaming that shit. So, um, anyway, we go in. We go in. The divine beast opens up, and it's essentially like a. Is it? Would you call it a dungeon? I don't know if dungeon's the right word for it.
Um, no, I don't know what I'd call it really. It's
No.
just like just navigating and platforming really.
Yeah. Which is
But the
fun.
platforming itself it's not like super difficult. It's
Yeah.
fairly straightforward. Um, and you have to use your Sheikah Slate runes that you've acquired again.
Hmm.
So like your magnesis and your cryo, all that stuff. It's just using what you've learned already
Yeah.
for like the first big challenge of the game, I guess.
So one of the things that they ask you to do, you hear Zelda's voice again. She picks and chooses when she wants to talk to you, which is kind of annoying, but there you go. As you open the divine beast, she recognizes that you've opened it somehow, some way through magic. And she says to us, there are 5 shrines inside. We have to activate each of the shrines to kind of get control of the boss. Well, no, sorry. We do the 5 shrines, and then that will open up the main terminal, and then when we use the main terminal, that gives us control of the divine beast, so we can take it back from
Yeah,
Ganon's influence, which is great.
yeah,
So we go in, we shove our Sheikah Slate in, and it gives us a map of the divine beast itself, but also like controls for it, which again that I wasn't expecting. That was kind of cool.
okay, right.
So like it gives you basically when you open the map, you can change the direction of the elephant's trunk, which is spewing out water, and then you have to use that essentially for solving some of the puzzles inside the Divine Beast itself. That I wasn't expecting. That I thought was a really cool concept. Haven't really seen anything like that in a video game
Oh,
kind of before.
yeah, it's fun. It's really interactive, isn't it?
Yeah. So that was good. So yeah, 5 shrines. Any difficulty on any of these shrines? I had difficulty on a couple of them.
Um, I'm gonna say no,
Should I
purely from
say?
experience.
So
Yeah,
was muscle memory leading you here? Did you just know where to
yeah,
go? That's fair.
yeah.
That's fair. So I had a couple of challenges. The one on the trunk confused me for a while. I didn't quite understand how I was supposed to get that one. And
Okay.
I'll be honest, I think I got it by accident.
The one like on the tip of the trunk.
Yeah, on the very, very tip of the
Yeah,
trunk. Yeah, because it's on the underside basically. So you have to like change the settings in the map to make his trunk kind of point upwards. But you also have to kind of be traversing the trunk at the same time because as it's moving, it's hard to explain. But as it's moving, it's like it's curling its trunk inwards. So
yeah,
you can start on the top of it, and as it's curling over, you can climb up on it. And by the time you get to like the underside of it, you're on top of the trunk and you're able to stand up straight. Did I explain that
So
terribly, didn't I?
it's hard to explain. It's
Yeah,
more like a visual sort of thing.
yeah,
But essentially, yeah, you have to. If the trunk is pointing down, the shrine is upside down.
yeah.
So you have to, yeah, navigate it to a way in which you're still on it as it's curving back up, essentially.
It was hard. I didn't
Um,
like it because you can't climb
I
either. You're not able to climb in this dungeon at all.
yeah, your character Link doesn't attach to walls like
No.
other rocks, so you're stuck with that. I so if you have the trunk like straight down, all the way down, from the point where you first see the trunk and you can like glide down onto it, you can glide all the way to the tip of the trunk and like stand on it essentially.
As in from
And
outside
then
the Divine Beast.
as in no, so like if you're in the Divine Beast and you've done like the water wheels to get up to that point where you can jump out onto the trunk.
Right.
there's like a doorway or like a window where you're looking out and the trunk is directly in front of you.
Yeah, I never found that. I never found that.
How did you get outside then?
So so the first couple of shrines are quite easy, just an FYI. So the first shrine, one of them is like underneath the water. Use your magnet ability to crank a crank, and it pulls one of the shrines out of the water. Very, very easy. Got that one. Then in the main part of the elephant, there are like two big water wheels. One of them is active because it has water spewing onto it, and it has a shrine on there that is connected to the wheel, so it's going round, and at times it's like upside down when it's at the top of the wheel. That one was easy because I just used my ice to block the waterfall to stop it from making water when it got to the bottom, so that was easy. Then I just grabbed that shrine. That wasn't too hard. So when I was in that room with the two water wheels, that's when I discovered that I could change the trunk. And I was like, oh, I can change the trunk and I can make it do different things. So I made it come in and start actively working the second water wheel, which doesn't have any water onto it. But if you aim the trunk in the correct way, then the water from the trunk comes into the divine beast itself and it activates that water wheel. So I got onto that water wheel, not entirely sure what I was supposed to do. And as it took me to the top, I found a platform that I jumped onto. And then from there, I ran out just like directly onto the trunk.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
That's how I got. So I was on the trunk and I could see like above me there was a shrine. And I was like, I need to get to that. So the way I did it was I literally scrambled up the side of the trunk. So as the trunk was, I flattened the trunk out to the lowest possible it could. I ran as far as I could before it stopped. I couldn't get any further because I had to climb. And then as the trunk, I then started moving the trunk to its highest point. And then as it was moving, I was like edging my way round the side of the trunk, so that as it was moving, I was like finding little ledges to stand on, so that by the time it was upside down, I was on the other side of the trunk.
Okay, I got you.
Which is why I think I'm finding it hard to explain, because I literally, as I said, I was like using physics and gravity to like stop myself from falling off, so I could.
It's like the trunk is it's like sectioned and there's like ridges in it.
Yeah.
So I assume you're using those ridges to find very small places, because the ridges aren't big either.
No, they're tiny. They're like small little spots. And as I said, you can't climb, so I'm literally doing this like bit by bit, like. That wasn't intentional. Hey, he said the name. I was doing it like gradually, trying to like just edge my way around the trunk.
Edge your way around the tip. Perfect.
Yes.
But you did it eventually.
I did edge my way around the tip. Yes, I did do it eventually, and it was fine. There was also a treasure chest there. I can't even remember what was in the chest though. Treasure in this place was quite underwhelming for a divine beast. I felt like there should be like some interesting shit in here, but. There was
kind of not great. There was like a 100. Oh, I can't speak. 100 rupee chest.
Got that one.
And then like the weapons, like you said, were like pretty low quality, not very good.
Yep.
Didn't seem super worthwhile, but it's free stuff.
Free stuff is always good. Yeah. No, you can't poo-poo free stuff. There was that one. The other shrine. So the other shrine is very similar to the second shrine that I mentioned. So in the other water wheel, there's another shrine that again is going round with the wheel. However, that's a bit more complicated because it has a closed gate and there's like a ball that's on like a pole that as you turn, if it goes upside down, then it sits into the like a slot. The ball falls down the pole onto a slot due to gravity, and that opens the door to where the shrine is. However, as the shrine turns, the ball obviously falls back out because of gravity again, and by the time the shrine door gets round to where you are, it's closed. But again, very simple. Just use your stop time. I figured that out quite quickly. So I stopped the time so it didn't move when it came back round. So that was fine.
I didn't even use stop time for that.
How did you...
There's like a platform, because around the central chambers, like where the big wheels are, there are like doorways that lead to like the outside for like ramps to go up to like higher levels. And I went up to the platform that is like next to the bigger wheel, essentially. And just as the wheel was spinning and the gate had opened due to the ball, once it was open, I just glided into it.
Oh, and then waited for the gate to wait for it to turn around.
Yeah.
Ah, yeah. I never thought of doing that.
I think you're supposed to use like stasis to hold the ball in
Yeah,
place.
that's how I did it. Um,
And that was what I was going to do. But then I saw an opportunity
and you
and I
took
was
it.
like, oh, fuck it. I'll go for it.
Does that
It
mean you
worked.
were like trapped in there for a bit then? Obviously, because it meant like the door closed
I think I timed it just right
that you
and I
managed to
wasn't
get out.
trapped really.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Because there are spikes too in there, aren't there?
yeah.
But
Okay.
yeah, it's fine. Yeah.
Clever, clever. No, I didn't think of that. That's yeah, well thought, well thought. I did it the boring way.
A big throbbing brain and very, very smart.
Very, very, very much so. So that's 4 of the shrines. That's the first one that was underwater, that was easy to get. The first one on the wheel, the second one on the wheel, the one on the tip of the trunk, and then the final one. I accidentally found it. So as I was gliding back after I did the one on the trunk, I was gliding back into the from because obviously when you're at the tip of the trunk, you're literally as high as you can possibly be on the elephant. So I just jumped off and was gliding back into the elephant. I landed on the floor and literally fell into a hole that I didn't see that was there, and found another crank. And I was like, okay, I suppose I'll turn this crank then. Turn the crank, which opened the roof. And then I was like, okay, I'll pour some water in here. And I didn't even see the fire below. It just put the fire out below that was on a shrine. And then I managed to go grab that shrine. That was completely fluke. I didn't even know what I was
Easy.
doing. Yeah. I quite literally fell into that room by accident.
How do you fall into it? Because I was on like the very tip of the trunk and I was like gliding around because there's like a chest up there as well,
Mm-hmm.
covered by like goopy stuff.
Yep.
And then I like jumped off the top of the elephant and sort of like glided around to scope it out. And there's like a big opening up there. Um, but there wasn't like a hole to fall through. I just kind of like glided into it, I guess.
Oh, no. There is like a tiny, tiny, like square hole in the roof above where all that cranking and stuff happens.
A random small hole.
There's like literally, I'm not even kidding. There's like a small hole, like a square hole, like the size of Link, basically, that I fell in, and it just
Okay.
popped me into the room, like directly in front of the crank. And I was like,
Lucky you
okay,
fell through
cool.
that then. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was confused myself. I was a bit confused. Big throbbing what now? Brain, Amanda.
Rain.
Jesus.
My God.
Some people in
These
this
filthy
chat,
minds.
honestly. Can't say throbbing without just. It's fine. It's whatever. It's 2023.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that was it. That was the 5 shrines. That was it done, and I was like, brilliant, awesome, cool. The main kind of operating shrine thing opens itself up, and you can glide into it quite easily. And then you get a cutscene, little mini cutscene. And I
Love a cutscene.
love a cutscene, and you find out. And why no one could have told me this earlier, I don't know. Kind of pissed off about that, let me tell you. But you find out that Ganon has basically not only corrupted these things with the ability to control them, but he's essentially left like guardians in them as well, which are essences of him. This one's called Water Blight Ganon. I assume they're all going to be elemental themed. I don't know. I'm just assuming.
Have to find out.
Yeah, I'll find out later. But this one's called the Water Blight Ganon, and then a boss fight ensues after Mipha tells you that you have to. Is it Mipha or Zelda? I can't remember.
Oh, I don't know.
I think
Actually,
it's Zelda. Zelda might tell you. I think it might be Zelda.
they've
That tells
both
you.
got very similar voices.
They
I will
do.
say that.
They do. They're both
Very
really
soft-spoken.
light, soft, and pathetic. Yeah, it's quite annoying.
Same.
Yeah. That's my daily struggle. So Water Black Ganon appears, and I mean, I struggled. I struggled with this boss. I don't know. You probably managed to do it quite quickly because you're good at the combat in this game.
I could at first try,
Oh, okay. Here we go. Go on then.
but I will say it is an annoyance to kill, especially because you kind of rely on arrows. I will say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had at this point I had like 3 arrows to my name, like normal arrows. I had like 40 shock arrows because I'd gotten loads from the Lionel, and I only end up using like 3 of them to get into the actual 4 to get into the actual Divine Beast. So I had loads of shock arrows, but I was down because I'm just using arrows. This is how I'm playing the game because I want to use those arrows. Yeah. So I was down arrows, and I didn't realize how how kind of essential they were going to be to this fight. But they were, and I struggled a lot because I didn't have the arrows, so I had to do a lot of it in melee.
So you didn't leave to like collect and come back?
To be silly, no, of course I didn't.
Okay.
I was shy away from a challenge.
So how did you kill it? Because he's got basically Water Blight Ganon has like a big spear.
Spear. Yeah.
Yeah, some sort of like long weapon, spear, halberd, whatever you want to call it, and does like big sweeping attacks that you can dodge them, but I feel like they're channeled and you can prepare for them. But I feel like I'm not very good at avoiding because the speed at which it swings is like really quick.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure if you can get close enough to sort of like avoid it and get under it. Or
well, I ended up using a lot of my shock arrows. I ended up just biting the bullet and using my non-normal arrows and use the shock arrows, which was probably a little bit of a waste. But at the same time, I was kind of like, I either do this or I struggle with melee for ages. Yeah, exactly. It's a boss. So yeah. So I did kill him. I did take like 6 attempts, but I think maybe even more than that. But I was trying to do melee for most of them. I was fine with the dodging because I was using my shield and I was parrying and stuff. You don't parry, do you? You don't use your shield much. Yeah.
No, yeah.
So the parrying and the shield blocking was helping me a lot. But the thing that was fucking me over, because I remind everyone, if you haven't been watching the past few episodes, we're still at 3 hearts at this point. We only have 3 hearts. So basically, if they hit us, we die. The one that was getting me was that he like holds the spear back and then he throws it at you, but it's so fast and it's really hard to dodge. And that was the one that was fucking me over because I couldn't. I was trying to backflip out of it, but the backflip wasn't enough because the spear is so large that even when I backflip, it still hits me anyway. And then side dodging the dodge, like the little hop you do, just isn't enough. So that was the one that fucked me over. That was the one that kept on killing me. And it was after a while that I was like, I'm just gonna have to use my shock arrows and just bite the bullet because I need to try and kill this boss. So then I used the arrows to stun him. Because if in this game, basically, if you shoot anything in the head or at least if it's big enough in one of its eyes, it stuns. And Water Blight Ganon has a very obvious eye. His eye area is actually quite large because it's quite long as well. Like as long as you hit him somewhere on his like, front panel face thing,
it's quite generous actually. Yeah. Because the eye itself is actually quite small.
It's tiny, yeah. And I was trying to hit it in that, and then I think I fired like a bad arrow, and it wasn't going to hit directly in the eye, but it hit the face panel, and it did the same thing. And I was like, oh shit, the entire panel is a weak spot. Brilliant, awesome.
Thank God.
Yeah. So, use my shock arrows, managed to keep stunning him. Found out he has 2 phases, so that's super fun. Phase 1, you're just in a room, and it's just like a normal fight. Phase 2, he raises some pillars and floods the room with water. So there's 4 pillars that you can stand on, but the rest of the room is water. And he also he changes from being on the floor to hanging from the ceiling as well. But it didn't change too much, to be honest. Like the fight was still very much the same. Just I had a couple of times where I stunned him and he fell off the ceiling, landed in the water. But because he was in the water, I couldn't get to him to do melee damage. And that was
so annoying. So slowly and yeah.
So that was a struggle.
It's someone's like ice block sometimes to fire ice at you. Did you have that?
Yes, I did. I did. And you just saying ice block made me realize I probably could have made an ice block so I could have stood on it and actually wailed on him.
Oh yeah.
I didn't even think of that.
Didn't even
think of that.
It was just like long range the entire fight from start to end.
No. I waited for chances. I made sure that when I was knocking him off the ceiling, I was knocking him off next to a pillar, so I could then swim over to that pillar and then smash him with a melee weapon.
Yeah.
But that's it. Essentially, that's the fight.
I forgot that after killing, you actually get a heart, which was quite nice. Yeah. A nice reward.
Yeah.
But I completely forgot that. I was like, oh my god, thank God, I can finally absorb a bit more damage, because up until now 3 hearts is quite tough, I would say.
Yeah, we were playing hardcore mode, because most things up until this point, most big attacks were doing 2 3/4 heart damage, so you were left on a quarter, which I felt was quite almost like intentionally designed, essentially, because like
in
I feel
case
like
someone hadn't
yeah,
invested.
exactly. But
Yeah.
also like it's for beginners as well. That's like we're gonna one hit you, but also not one hit you kind of thing, if that makes sense. So yeah, so that, but you know, it was fine. It was fine. That was, we have an extra heart now. We're on 4 hearts, which is good. And then you also I wasn't expecting this part. I was just expecting to like get the divine beast. You also get an ability. So this is Mifa's. Mifa was the guardian of this one, and we learnt last episode that she has the power of healing. And so her spirit arrives, and once again, the story of her loving you, but it not being, is unrequited love, is brought up. Really awkward, but whatever. And she gives you her healing power, which is basically I don't know how long the cooldown is. It's a very long cooldown, but it's basically a free
Fairly
fairy.
long.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a free fairy, but like boosted up, like an
Yeah.
amped up version. So not only do you get so basically a fairy is if you take damage to the point where you die, if you have a fairy on your person, you you don't die and you get like 5 hearts back. We've got 3 right now, but I think you get 5 hearts back if you have 5. Mipa's Grace is the ability we've gained, and again, if you take damage to which you die, instead of dying, all of your hearts come back. So if you've got 10 hearts, you'll get 10 hearts back. Plus, I think it's like 5 bonus hearts, the yellow hearts. I think it was 5.
I think it's
5
five.
or 6.
Yeah. No, I think it's
Around
5. I
that.
think you're right. Yeah, 5 is good.
Yeah, yeah. But it's a pretty long cooldown. It's like 10 minutes or so.
Yeah.
But very helpful. Even with her pushy love, she gave us something very handy.
Even with the pushy love, even when she's being annoying with her advances, she still gave us something that was kind of handy, which is good. But I was expecting that. I assume we get one. This isn't me asking for an answer, but I'm assuming we get something interesting at each of the divine beasts now. So maybe each of the guardians will give us something nice. But yeah, no, Mifa's Grace came into good use in the rest of this episode, which we'll get into. She then teleports us out. We're told that we can't ever come back into Divine Beast. So there were a couple of chests that I think I saw that I didn't bother opening. I hope there was something interesting in them. But yeah, we get teleported out, and Mifa, now that Mifa has control over the Divine Beast again, she moves it to the top of a fucking mountain, and it kind of gets on its knees and then like opens up its tusks, which turns out to be massive lasers. And then I don't know if it's like aiming at the castle or if it's firing a beam. I haven't quite figured that one out yet.
I understand it as it's already firing a beam.
Okay, right.
Because I think it's firing a beam to weaken.
Yes.
Ganon. So I think for every one that you do, it progressively weakens, like the final boss, basically.
Right. Okay. Yeah. It says that. Yeah. She says that she's gonna go and do what the Divine Beast was like made to do, essentially. And it's now on a massive hill, which you can see in the overworld now. And if you look into the distance, you can just see this huge fuck off elephant just on a mountain, just firing a laser at the castle.
That mountain in which the elephant's at now, did you recognize where that was on the map?
No.
Because last episode, do you remember we were talking about traveling through the horrible pathway?
Yes.
And you said you saw a big circle of water above that you couldn't get to.
Oh, yes. I see.
That is that. Yeah, I didn't realize either until I did it, and I was like, "Oh wait, it's here."
That makes sense. Okay, cool. Yeah. Well, you can just teleport to that now, can't you? Because you can teleport to the Divine Beast. So
yeah.
But you're right. Literally, fucking nothing up there. Empty.
Yeah, empty, pretty much. Yeah.
And now the Divine Beast is up there. You also can't get close to Divine Beast. I don't know why they don't even let you get close to it. Like, I can understand them not letting you back into it, but you literally can't even get. If you get too close, it says that it's dangerous to be close to it, and it teleports you away.
Yeah, don't understand that. It's weird.
That was fun. But that's it. First Divine Beast down. First Divine Beast done.
And it went okay for you generally? Did you like it?
Yeah, I think it was good. Again, wasn't really expecting the ability. I wasn't expecting the boss fight. Or the puzzles. Honestly, I don't know what I was expecting. I wasn't expecting anything. As I say, I went in kind of like open to whatever. So it was interesting. It was longer than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be like since we'd already done like the preparation and there was the thing outside, I thought we were going to go inside, maybe do a couple things, and then we'd have control of the beast
Yeah.
again. However, at the same time, now that I've done it, I'm kind of like, that felt like the right amount of stuff to have to do to get control over like such an important plot point kind of thing. I think
Yeah.
anything less would have felt a bit weird, like just walking in being like, okay, I've killed this like couple monsters, or I've figured out this one puzzle, now I can have access to the entire thing. Like that does feel a bit weird.
Yeah. Yeah. I must admit, I actually had forgotten the process of it. I
Oh
remember
really?
I remember the boss fight, but I somehow had sort of like blocked out the actual unlocking of the elephant.
Mm-hmm.
So I shot the shock arrows at the start with Prince Sidon, and I was like, okay, boss time. I'll get inside and fight. And I internally forgotten. I was like, oh wait, it's actually terminals to unlock. There's like a whole process of puzzles, and
There you go.
I mean, it was fun still, but I had just forgotten it, and I was like, oh shit, there's actually more to do.
I mean, the game is so big that you're gonna forget some bits and bobs, right?
It's so like,
Yeah.
especially I was playing on stream, and somebody asked where I was on the map, so I showed them, and I was like, we've uncovered quite a lot. We've got all this map unlocked so far, and then I was like, wait, and I zoomed out, and I was like, this is barely touched the surface of the game. Like it's ridiculously big. It's
Yeah.
huge.
Only 2 towers so far.
Well, yeah, because we've got the tower in the
Starting zone.
plateau,
Yeah.
then the one in the second zone, which is also like Zora's domain.
Yeah.
So then we go from the elephant to a new zone.
Yes, we do indeed.
Which luckily has a tower fairly early on.
It does, yeah. So yeah, we decided that after we done the Divine Beast, we were going to go and explore to the south, and then from here, basically, we're going to do the map clockwise. Sorry, clockwise. So we're going to go, from essentially the eastmost part of the map, which is where we are now. We're going to go south, then all the way west, north, all the way east again, and down a bit. So we're literally going clockwise around the map. So yeah, so we decided to journey to the south. Was there anything you did before leaving? Obviously, we had to go back and talk to the Prince Sidon and the dad, Donifan.
Yep, the big man. No, I just spoke to him, got the trident, but it's not used yet really.
Oh, mine's gone. I've broken mine.
I wasn't sure if it was necessary for something.
Well,
if it was needed.
It's kind of awkward because in the story they're literally like, "This is like Mifa's prized weapon. Please do, like take really good care of it." And so I thought that it might be like a bit more durable than usual things, but it was not. And I was fighting something and did a flurry of blows, and in the flurry of blows, it went immediately, like the first blow, it was like it's weak, and then by the time it hit the last blow, it broke, and I was like, okay, cool, well, that's
amazing.
Forever. Yeah.
Thank you, Mifa, for that. Great.
Yeah. Cheers. That was great. That was awesome. And
no, yeah.
Go on.
I was going to say, apart from that, it was just not a lot much in the area really for me. I mean, there's an NPC that is like building, I think they're like using like a chisel and a hammer, and they had like a quest symbol on their head. This is like as you enter the city of Zora's domain.
Okay.
And if you speak to him, he's looking for luminous stones. And he, in exchange for 10 stones, gives you a diamond.
What's a diamond?
I think the first time... Well, I'm not entirely sure yet. Because you collect rubies, sapphires, all that stuff. Diamonds are, I assume, are like a rarer resource.
Okay.
So far, I found one diamond outside of that, as I was breaking rocks. But yeah, 10 stones for 1 diamond is like a trade that he's doing, and it's like consistent as well. So he's like, for the first time, I'll give you 2 diamonds for 10 as a treat. And then he said, if you bring any more stones back to me, for every 10, you'll get a diamond. Ooh. So I forget if the diamonds are just for money or if they're for a specific sort of like upgrade. I remember. Okay. But I got a few of those in advance if I need them.
Okay. I might have to go and talk to him because I've got so many luminous stones and I have no idea what to do with them. So
I feel like the side quests with like the little red like exclamation point above their speech bubble. I think they're quite hard to see.
They are.
Like, you
Yeah.
have to get quite close to them before you see it.
Yeah, because it's like a red
Um,
exclamation point in their speech bubble, but their speech bubble doesn't appear until you're, as you say, you're like quite close to them, like right next to them, essentially.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
so you can't see them on the map, or you can't see them from a distance. So it is easy just to walk past. And even if your camera's positioned incorrectly, their speech bubble might not even appear until you've already passed them. So
yeah.
yeah, they are quite hard. Like the only one I saw in Zora's Domain was I found someone who was standing next to a waterfall, and he was like, "Oh, we've actually already met. I met you at the top of the tower in this area because there was a Zora at the top of the tower." He was like, "Oh, I'm trying to find a Hylian and I'm too scared to jump down because the tower's so high." It was him, and he was like, "Oh, I'm looking for people to like jump off and show me their waterfall diving and climbing abilities." So I was like, "Okay, well," and I did that. I dived off and then climbed back up, and he gave me something. I can't. I don't
Some
know.
forgetful
Yeah,
thing.
some forgetful
Yeah,
thing. I can't remember. He gave me something, and then I was on my way. So sometimes I'm like, okay, it's worth going out my way to find these things, but other times I'm like, these quests are kind of. Some of them are quite pointless, and they're kind of just like
yeah.
flavor adding
Filler.
almost. Yeah, exactly. Um, so
If I just wish they were a bit more like telegraphed for us, like
mhm.
because there are a lot of NPCs in these towns as
Yeah.
well, living their lives. I just wish that there was an easy way to spot them. But anyway, that's that.
This is why, though, I'm spoiled by games on PC because I know if this game was on PC or Steam, there'd be a mod for that. There'd be a mod that would like add all of those red little exclamation marks to your map, and I could see
Yeah,
exactly where all like they were, which would be awesome and something I would love to have in this game. Um, Alas,
yeah. Given that the map does show a lot,
yeah,
that seems like a fairly simple thing
hmm
to have, really.
yeah.
Especially because quests are like fun content. They made the content. Why not make it easy for people to like
That's what I'm saying.
take part in it?
Alas, alas. Anyway, we're done with Zora's Domain. It's over. She's old
Ever.
news. We're never gonna return. And so we head south. I suppose from here, the next big landmark to talk about is Hateno Village. So
Yep.
anything between Zora's Domain and Hateno Village that you feel was worthwhile of your discussion?
Just general wandering around. Nothing
Mhm.
too important, I don't think. Didn't find that many seeds either.
I mean, that's the story of my life.
Yeah.
Oh,
I feel like a
wait. Speaking of
oh
seeds, I have a bone to pick with you, and I feel like you might be cheating.
oh
How have you
cheating.
been spending your seeds?
I've seen what's the creature called?
Hetsu.
Hetsu. I've met Hetsu twice now.
Where? Because
First time was wait, do you not know where Hetsu is?
so the first time was outside Kakariko Village, which is when we first met
Yeah,
him. However, he
yeah,
only lets you do 2 upgrades there. And then when you do 2, he says he's off to somewhere else and he'll meet you there.
yeah.
That place that he goes to is outside of the map where we have agreed we are not going to yet.
It's not. Unless there's a different place he spawns, because I found him at a stable in the map.
A stable in the map.
Yeah, I can actually find it. It's close to the border where we're not supposed to go. Um,
Oh, here we go. How close?
I found at the wetland stable.
The wetland
So
stable. What's near
in
that?
this in the second area which we went to, the big
Yeah.
like flat open area with like the big water spot in the middle.
Uh huh.
To the eastern side, where there's like a river, there's a Krenel Peak, and then below that there's Rebene Bridge.
Rebene Bridge. I can't see any of this. Oh, Krenel Peak. Here we go. No, I found Krenel Peak.
Okay, yeah, just southwest of that there's Rebene Bridge.
Southwest of that.
Yeah. Maybe the names don't appear unless you've been there.
Maybe. I mean, I can show you my. Wait a second. Let me hold my camera, my thing up. Sorry, this is not going to help anyone who's watching. That's
Okay,
Chronal
so
Peak.
so to the west of the peak, if you look, there's like a pathway,
Yeah.
and the pathway goes down and goes towards the unentered area.
Yeah.
Basically, the stable is like just south of there,
Right.
where the path carries south again before whirling off.
But still inside our map.
So inside the map, there's a stable called the Wetland Stable.
Right.
There's a shrine there too.
Okay.
But I found Hetsu there.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll give you that one
So I
then.
don't know. I don't know if he just spawns in different locations
No,
randomly.
I looked at a walkthrough because I literally didn't know. I went back to Kakariko Village to go spend some Korok seeds, and I couldn't find him. I was like, what the fuck? Where is Hetsu gone? So I checked a walkthrough and was like, does he move? Like, is he not available at night? I just want to know so I know I'm not wasting my time kind of thing. And he has like locations that he goes to once you've spent enough with him. So the first time it's 2. Once you've done 2 upgrades, he will then change position. And then at that area, he will allow 6 upgrades and then he'll change again. And he goes to somewhere else, but I didn't look further in the walkthrough because I didn't want to know kind of thing.
I did do it on stream, so I'll find the VOD and I'll prove that I didn't cheat.
No, you're a cheater in my head. As far as I'm concerned, that's it. It's all over. You're a cheater now. Cool, awesome. So okay, well I will head there. That's fair. Because the last thing I did in this leg is I was like, I need to upgrade my slots because I can still only carry 4 shields, which is annoying.
Yeah.
And I can still only carry like 6 swords or something. And I was like, no, I need to carry some more. So I went back to find him and I couldn't find him. And I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So
the extra equipment slots are like, I feel like they're more important than armor, honestly.
Kind of, yeah, because things break so quickly in this game, like ridiculously quickly.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to, I find myself hoarding like the higher end, like the higher powered stuff because I'm like, well, I don't want it to break the second, like after 3 hits, I don't want it to be gone kind of thing.
I'm the same. I'm scared to use a certain sword because I'm like, well, I'll use this for the next boss fight. But then, like, when is that going to be? Like, maybe 5 hours from now?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Exactly.
I know what you mean. It is a bit frustrating. That is one of the things that I don't like about any game is durability on weapons.
Yeah.
It might be because I'm just like lazy at trying to find new stuff. I'm not sure. I just don't really care for it.
Yeah. No, that's totally fair. Yeah. To be fair, I'm exactly the same. Durability, I'm just kind of like, I want my stuff. Once I've got my stuff, just let me have my stuff kind of thing. And I get that's not the nature of this game. Like the nature of it is to go out and find, new weapons, explore and salvage things, which is fair. But yeah,
and it does give you a lot of weapons. In fairness, like it does throw a lot at you from the monster drops and the chests you find.
Yeah. But still,
is there some disagreement there?
Again, if I was playing this on Steam, I know there'd be a mod that just turned durability off and I could just upgrade my weapons like you normally would. Like when you find something more powerful, drop the old one, just use the new one. And that's how I'd like to play it. But alas, that's not this game. Okay, thank you for the knowledge. I will go and find Hetsu there. And
I hope that you do see him because he was there for me, definitely.
No, I'm sure he will be. I just need to talk to him because I've got a fair few Korok seeds now, and I need to get my hands on him so I can spend some of them. So for you, just some exploring. You said, not much of. No.
Oh yeah. Okay. Just wandering around. I did the tower, and then from the tower, it's a pretty high point, which I flew directly to Hateno Village, I think. Because obviously from the tower you can see it.
Yeah.
And so I headed in that direction to get the things that I needed.
So I did 2 things of note in this area. I killed my second Lionel, which I was quite happy about. He was in like a ruiny area. Like there was a pathway of ruins leading up to him. Wait a second. What was the actual name of it? Pathway of ruins leading up to... am I going to be able to find it? Probably not. There was a shrine underneath a waterfall, which is where he was.
Oh.
Is this it? Yeah, the Laneru Promenade, which is like a watery area. It's a little bit, it's just like northwest of Hateno Village. The Dao Nea Shrine is the one that I found, and then that area has loads of ruins in it across the water part. And then if you go to the east, there's the Laneru Nanariu Road East Gate, and then that's where the East Gate is where the Lionel is. There's also a large, what are they called? Hinox there as well.
Like the big
The
troll
big
thing.
troll with one
Yeah.
eyes, yeah. So there's like a Lionel and a Hinox next to each other. And I killed them both because I'm amazing.
Lovely.
Yeah, I did. I keep forgetting to cook in this game. I keep forgetting to cook. So fighting that Lionel, I ate like literally about 40 apples trying to stay alive. But I did it. I managed it. So I am 2 Lionels down now. Please tell me you're still at 2 Lionels down and not 3.
3.
Oh fuck.
Yeah.
Shit.
This is like a second part to this, isn't it? It's like who can kill the most Lionels
I
in their
thought
run.
I'd be like at least on par with you on that because I know when we do the stats later, you're gonna fucking annihilate me in them again. So I was hoping that at least the Lionel count would be the same. So where's your third? Did you kill that Lionel?
I'm not sure. I killed a Lionel from after leaving the elephant heading towards the new area. I killed a Lionel that was just wandering around some sort of like I don't know.
Enclosure.
Kind of, yeah. There was like hills like surrounding it.
Uh-huh.
Um, it was quite a hard one to fight,
Okay.
so I died a few times. Um, but I think it was a different one to your one. I don't remember going to where you said,
Okay. Well,
unless I just missed it completely.
no, it's
I don't
pretty
know.
like it's a pretty noticeable area. I think you would have known if that was the one you went to.
Yeah.
Well, afterwards we'll swap Lionel locations. You give me the one where you was, I'll give you that one. We can go fight each other with
Okay.
Lionels and see how it went. So I did that, and then the other thing I did was I went back to Kakariko Village to cook some stuff. And then when I came down from Kakariko Village, there was like a huge plain area called the Blatchery Plains, which is that the right area? Maybe not actually. There was a huge plain area. I can't remember the Rabia Plains. Sorry, the Rabia Plains, just to the
Okay.
east of Kakariko Village is the Rabia Plains, and there was a huge amount of space, and there was a bird person playing like a harp thing.
Oh, Cass.
Cass.
Yeah, Cass. There's a bird that plays like an accordion.
Oh, I'll be honest, I didn't catch his name. Yeah, sorry.
I think it's Cass. Cass is an
Okay.
icon.
Okay. Well, there was a Rito playing. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it was an accordion, and I could hear it from fucking miles away. So I went over and investigated, and he gave me a little poem and said that there was a shrine here, but like, well, this wasn't the exact poem, but basically the poem said that there was a shrine here, but it only appeared if you could tame the beast with a crown of bones and bring it to the platform that he was next to. Um, and so I very quickly figured that out, that was the stag. There are stags around Crown of Bones. It's because of the antlers. So I managed to jump onto a stag, calm it down, and then take it over to the platform, which created a shrine. And it was what was the shrine? It was the Ancient Trifecta. Oh god, that was the most annoying shrine. It involved, there was a laser beam. There was a platform that only moved if you hit a light box, but like there was a laser always firing onto the light box, so you had to like block it so that you could move it around. It's hard to explain, but it was an annoying shrine. I didn't enjoy it, but I
I
managed
haven't
to do it.
done that one. Yeah, I must have missed that too.
Well, there you go. If you want an extra shrine, go back to that area. It's really easy to open it up, and then the plane. I was kind of annoyed because it was Cass. Okay, Aaron's saying it was Cass. Brilliant, thank you. I was kind of annoyed because getting the shrine to appear in the first place was kind of an annoying, because you had to find a stag. The first one I found ran off a cliff and literally killed itself. So I was like, okay, cool, I can't use that one. Had to find another one. It was kind of annoying. And then to get in there to have such a like hard puzzle as well, I was like, you kidding me? What the hell? Like I've already worked my ass off to get the shrine to come up. Like, sure, whatever.
Okay.
So there's that waiting for you. There's that waiting for you should you want to.
I've done a casting already,
Oh, okay.
but I did that. I think it was last episode, but I didn't want to talk about Cass until you found him,
Well, there you go. I found him now.
because there's a few locations of him scattered around.
Okay.
So I didn't see that one before. I've seen one where there's like a bunch of like um like wind tunnels almost,
Hmm.
and you have to glide onto a platform that's far away from this windy area without landing. So you have to basically open up different sections of rock to allow the tunnels to like come together as one powerful wind tunnel, if that makes
Right.
sense.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
you could then use the powerful one to glide across and land on it
Oh, okay.
without landing. So yeah, he's in a few locations, and it's
Okay.
just a shrine. But I remember that one too. I did it all. It wasn't particularly difficult, but it was just like a lot of things to do. And then you go inside, and there's like another puzzle to do. Whereas often some of them, like
Little
if there's
bastard.
like an outside challenge beforehand, sometimes you go in and there's just like a big room with like a chest, and it's like done.
Yeah.
So Cass makes you work for it, basically. That's what I'm saying. But I
Which
like
is
Cass. I
great.
think Cass is a fun character.
Is he always playing his accordion so you can
Yeah,
hear him from quite a far distance? That's good
yeah,
because that's the only
yeah.
reason I realized he was there is because I was like, at first I thought it was coming from like I was streaming at this point and I thought it was coming from like a video, like because I always have like some music playing in the background and I thought it was coming from like a YouTube video that was playing and I was like, what the fuck is this
Right.
accordion music in this video? Like this is really bizarre. Because I have noticed that the game doesn't actually have that much in terms of sound. If something's happening, if you're in a fight, if you're in a boss fight, there's music. But when you're just exploring, it's very quiet, which is kind of nice. I can understand that some people would like that, but also sometimes a little bit eerie when you're like in the middle of nowhere and there's no music and you can just hear the rushing wind and it's like, okay, like this is a
Yeah,
bit.
it's quite real, I guess, in that way.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I quite like it as like a as an off-stream vibe. I like the lack of music, and it's just
yeah.
quite peaceful, I think. It's quite nice. But then like on stream, I've been playing like music with it too, because having like an empty game,
It's
like sound wise,
odd, isn't it?
really,
Yeah,
it's hard for like a stream, isn't it?
yeah, yeah. I don't like it.
Um,
I don't like it.
but Cass is there to provide his sick
As
song.
always, as
Yeah.
always. So that was the only things interesting that happened to me between those two. There was, as you say, some other Koroks. There was some shrines that I've picked up. There was one on the waterfall. There was the ruins I explored. Nothing of interest though. Nothing super interesting. I did manage to get my ass on a
Your
boat.
art.
My ass. I managed to get my ass on a boat. And I was using the Korok leaf to surf across the waters, and then realized if you
Nice.
hold down the Korok leaf to do like a special attack, like a charge attack, does bigger wind. Awesome. So
Yeah.
did that with it on a charge 3, and it was so powerful that the boat went off without me and just left me stranded in the river that I was in, and the current was so strong that I couldn't get to either of the sides, so I just died in the river. And then when I
Oh my god.
respawned on the beach, the boat had gone. The boat wasn't there
Lovely.
anymore. So
Okay, okay.
that was my first experience of trying to use a boat in this game. So that was wonderful. But that was just some random river in between here as well. But
Did
hey,
you have any like anything of note discovered in the village, Hatino
in
village?
Hateno Village. So I went into Hateno Village, and the first thing I found was a child, which is tragic.
Wild.
A child at the
The
front of the
worst.
gate,
Okay.
and I spoke. I don't know why I spoke to the child. Something about the child made me want to talk to him. I don't know why. I don't know if it was because it was like the first thing, and he was just like poking around on the ground, and he looked quite inconspicuous, and my gamer brain was like, he's up to something. I think there's something wrong here, kind of thing. So I spoke to the child at the front of Hateno Village, and he was like, "Oh, I found something interesting. Come with me." And I was like, "Okay, sure, I'll come with you." And he led me to this fucking evil ass looking shrine that I was genuinely a little bit scared of. I'm not gonna lie. Did you do this?
Oh.
Oh, okay. So he took
Yeah.
me to this evil ass looking shrine and he was like, "Oh, I found this shrine." And I was like, "Okay, cool." So I spoke to the shrine and the shrine was like, "Oh, gave me some sob story about how no one worships him anymore and like how all the other statues are prayed to constantly, but that statue in particular was like, "Oh, I started dealing in deals of power and health." And the
Okay, that
other
sounds
yeah,
demonic.
yes. And he was like, the other deities didn't like deemed me like wrong for doing that. Therefore, I got moved here. And he is like, the child leads you into this like little like alleyway thing that's like clearly you wouldn't even find if you were just looking around. And he was like, and they don't even clean the bird poop off me now or something. He gets into quite a lot of detail about how the village hates him. And then he goes, I'll show you what I can do. And then I shit you not, he steals a heart from you. So at this point I was on 4 health and he steals a heart and I go back down to 3.
Like permanently or just takes damage?
No, permanently, as in literally takes one of your hearts away from you. He doesn't do 1 heart of damage, he takes a heart away from you entirely.
Okay.
And I was like, what the fuck? What the fuck? After he does that, like the conversation ends, and then I'm like, wait, what the fuck just happened? But it does give you a side quest, and I read the side quest, and it's like, oh, you found a statue and he stole a heart from you. Maybe if you talk to him again, you can convince him to give it back to you. So I was like, okay, cool. So I immediately spoke to him again, and he explains that he actually, for a small charge, and I think it is small, I don't think it's too expensive. I think it's like 100 rupees, maybe even less. He can swap health for stamina. So if you give him a heart, you can then take stamina. Or if you give him a bit of your stamina, you can then take the heart. Yeah. So he basically swaps around. If you've decided that you did it wrong, or you want you need stamina or you need hearts for something, you can go to him and give him like 100 rupees and it will change 1 for 1.
To reset them. Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
I never saw that in my entire playtime.
Yeah. So he's
I
there.
just assumed that if you picked something that you didn't want, you were stuck with it.
No. Well, I mean, you have to pay, and 100 rupees isn't like really cheap. It's not a lot, but it's not
still a charge. Yeah,
a few times, and you're going to be have a dent in your wallet. But yeah, he can do that for you. So I was quite happy with that. I was quite happy to find that. I'm probably not going to use him because my 4 hearts is good. Give me a second. Oh, bless you. Thank you. Yeah, so I'm not, let me just mark that so I can get rid of a sneeze. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna use him. I'm at 4 hearts now, and I also am at 2. Well, I've got now an extra circle of stamina. So
nice. Okay, good.
I'm feeling good. Like, I'm feeling happy with what I've got. So I didn't bother. I just asked him for my heart back, and he gave it back to me, luckily. So that was fine. So yeah, but if we're ever at a point where we need some extra hearts or need some extra stamina and we're happy to swap some stuff around, then he's there for us. Outside of that, no, nothing. I ran up into the village. I looked around the shops. Really underwhelming. Nothing really, even in like the armor shops, everything I had was either on par or better to what they were selling. So I was like, okay, well, no reason to buy anything. I poked around some things, eavesdropped on some villagers, nothing of interest really, until I got to the back of the town and there was like a blue engine thing with like a fire coming out, and then there was like an empty torch that was next to it, and I was like, oh, okay, cool, I think I can put 2 and 2 together here. So I had a torch on me already, so I swiped the engine blue light and I put it in the torch and nothing happened. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. And so I ran around a bit more and then found another empty one, and I was like, oh, okay, maybe there are a few that I have to light. So I ran and got the light again and then lit that one and then found another 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 one. It just didn't fucking end. And I kind of gave up, to be perfectly honest. I lit, as in lighting the lamps.
Okay, I was going to ask what you're lighting, but you're lighting lamps, right? Like stone lamps. Okay.
There's the stone lamps on the pathway, and I got bored of lighting them and trying to find them. However, there was a couple in town, and when I was running around with the light in town, people were saying that was a blue light that was used up at the laboratory. So I was like, okay, cool. So I then just ran the light up to the laboratory, lighting any like lamps that I found on the way. But I ran up to the mountain with that blue light, and then there was a house laboratory, and there was like the engine that had the blue light at the bottom of the hill. There was the same engine but didn't have a light, so I just lit that. And then went inside and met the person whose name I cannot remember.
Pura.
Yes.
Pura?
Pura.
Something like that. Yeah.
Something along those lines. And I think, I'll be honest, I think I skipped a lot of dialogue because I lit the thing immediately. um,
Okay.
I'm getting the impression they didn't expect me to do that, at least on the first run through, because they just like entered the conversation really quickly, almost as if, like, it felt like they were expecting me to come there without having lit it first, and they were going to go tell me to light it, kind of thing.
They do that, yeah.
Yeah. See, I
Yeah.
think I skipped all of that dialogue because I was just like, I ran in when the first time I entered the room, it was already lit and working, kind of thing. So, yeah.
Because I could say Impa. Impa is from a different village.
Yeah.
Pura. I've read some of the dialogue.
You did?
Yeah, I did.
Holy crap!
It's quite a shock, I know.
I know.
Because there's two people in there. There's Pura and there's a man.
Aide. I can't remember his name either. Yes, I spoke to him once for a part of a quest, but I didn't. He was boring.
At first, it's led to believe that he is like the director of the lab or like the main person. Turns out she is. She is very young.
Yeah. See, I didn't get any of that banter because
okay.
I lit the thing, and when I walked in, she was like, "Oh my god, it's Link! It's you! Hi, I love you!" And you've already lit the thing outside. Clearly, you have all your memories. You remember me. I'm Pura. I'm the head of the lab. So I didn't get any of the banter of like thinking that she wasn't thinking she was just a child kind of thing. I didn't get any of that. Yeah.
When you first, because I went up there first. So even though I knew what to do, I went up there first because I thought I had to talk to them to start that process of lighting.
Ah, okay.
But I guess you don't, obviously. No. But when I first walked in there, I spoke to her. She was like, "Oh, you want to speak to the director?" That's what she said. So I went to the person who was like in there with her, which was him. And then he was like, "No, go and speak to my director." And then Link was like, "Wait, what?"
The fuck?
But yes, she knows Link from before.
Yeah.
She essentially did an experiment which made her young, like really young. So she's a child again, basically.
Yeah.
But yeah, she gives us the power to take photos on our Sheikah slate.
What a power. I love that. I can make bombs. I can create ice pillars from nothing. I can literally fucking stop time. And you're going to give me the power to take some pictures.
Yeah. Awesome. I mean, it was an iPad already, right?
It was. Well, I mean, yeah, now it's got a camera on the back of it. Yeah.
Now it is. Yeah. I think I think there is some more significance to her. And I'm fairly certain there is some more significance in the future. But for now, at least, I think that's basically it.
Okay. I read her diary. I went to her room and read her diary, which isn't the most gentlemanly thing to do.
Is that allowed?
Yeah. She made some heavy implications. She was like, "Oh, I did." She explained the experiment that reversed her aging process, and then she was like, "Oh, I wrote all about it upstairs in my diary." And I was like, "Well, okay, I'm fucking gonna go there and read about this then." However, in the diary, you find out that not only is she the person who not only has she done this age reversal, but she's also the person that put you in the stasis. She's the one she's the one that dragged your lifeless corpse up the fucking hill and into the Shrine of Restoration and put your body in there. She did that. That's her. She's the reason you're still alive.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, you find that all out in the diary. So we can thank Pura for the fact that we are even alive. So thanks, Pura. Cheers.
Yeah, thank you, child. But then apart from that, well,
she wasn't a child when she did it. She didn't drag a 6-year-old didn't drag your corpse up the hill. She was I think the diary says that she was 120 when that happened. So
what's the life expectancy of Hyrule? Oh my god.
Because Impa's she's like 150 or something, and she's still rocking around. I mean, she looks old, but
she's old. Yeah, she looks it, yeah.
Wow. Wow. But yeah, no. And as child, maybe because she's not technically a child, but it was nice because as child characters, though, she wasn't too annoying. She was okay to kind of chat to.
Yeah, like the adult personality there.
Yeah. But yeah, you get some upgrades. I had some materials already to upgrade my existing ones. So I upgraded my bombs. So I now have bomb pluses.
I didn't do that yet.
Oh my god.
I know that you can do it.
Oh, okay.
And I know about that, but I didn't. I thought I had to unlock it first, but
Oh no! I just spoke
Yes,
to
I
her.
can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just spoke to her immediately, and then she was like, "Yeah, I can upgrade your stuff." The only thing I haven't upgraded yet that she can do is my stasis. I need some more ancient cores for that. I've only got 2. She wants 3, so I need to go find some more ancient cores. But
How needy.
yeah, I know, right? But she did upgrade my. She gave me the camera. She upgraded my. What did she upgrade? She upgraded my bombs, and she upgraded my shrine radar.
Like a bigger
So
radius, I
no.
guess.
Now, if I use the camera and take a picture of something, I can then register that to my shrine radar, and it will also start pinging if I'm near that item.
Oh, okay,
So
okay.
I can now like take a picture of, I don't know, like the iron shrooms or something that are around if I need some iron shrooms, and then the radar will start pinging if I'm ever near any in the world.
Okay, that's pretty
Which is quite
helpful to
handy.
farm.
Yeah, it's pretty helpful
Yeah.
to farm some stuff. But there's also a lot of shit in the world, right? So like it's gonna take a while to kind of see stuff, um and then I was like, how am I going to find stuff that I already have? Like, if I want, do I have to go find out and find more of it just so I can register it to my radar? Because I need to take a picture of it first. And then realized, little tidbit for you: you can hold something, drop it on the floor, take a picture of it, and then pick it back up, and it registers in your compendium as
You're so
something.
smart,
I am.
honestly.
You know what? No, more people need to admit that I'm smart. Because I did that. So yeah, she does. She gives you some upgrades as well. So I've done that, and you haven't done that, which means I'm ahead of you. So, you know,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, we'll get to the correct seeds and stuff later on.
Fuck
But yeah,
no,
sure.
I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do the check-in. So that's all I did in Hatno Village after that. To be honest, I was like, I wanted to go and do the other part of this podcast that we agreed to do on this leg, which was Eventide Island.
Mhm.
And to be perfectly honest, I kind of went straight to Eventide Island from the lab because it's really easy. The lab is very high up. It's on like the top of a hill at Hadney Village, and I
Yeah.
could see it in the. I could see Eventide Village in the distance. Eventide Island, sorry, in the distance. So I went. I just glid straight down onto the beach, found a boat, and then just made my way over there. That being said, there was a very obvious shrine in the water on the way, so I stopped off at that one.
Okay, good. Yeah.
However, that is, I have to admit, this is the first shrine I've had to walk away from.
Which one was this one?
It's the Shrine of Greater Might, I think it's called.
Oh, a combat trial.
It's a combat trial, and the thing in there was tanky AF. He did not want to
Yeah.
fucking die. I literally destroyed all my weapons on him. And then I was like, okay, I'll have to finish him off with bombs. He had like a quarter of his health left. I was like, I have to finish him off with bombs then. But he doesn't let you. If you create a bomb, he shoots it with a laser immediately. So it
Oh,
blows
really?
up. Yeah. If you create a bomb, he like the AI of the monster guardian, whatever you want to call it, immediately shoots it with a laser, and then you don't have
Okay,
time to
okay.
throw it at him or anything.
So it's programmed to be literally just like hand to hand or bow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And obviously, when he shoots you with a bomb, it blows up and does damage. And I just increased my bombs. I just got bomb pluses, and they do more damage now. So if he blew up a bomb, it did immediate death because I only have 4 hearts.
That's fun.
Yeah.
I actually did that. I fought it. It did take a while. I remember it being very, very tanky, but also I had lots of arrows.
At this point, I had like 3 arrows.
Yeah. I was trying to like use those, and I had like bomb arrows, and I had like the bows that shoot 3 at once. So I was like trying to like really just kill it. It does drop some very good weapons. I'll say that though.
Okay. It felt like it was going to drop some good shit.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it drops like the guardian weapons, like the blue things, but it'd be like guardian sword plus.
Ooh.
And
Okay.
there's like Guardian Sword plus plus. So there's like different like levels of them.
Plus.
So yeah, it's worth it. It's worth a try if you can do it.
Yeah.
Get some good stuff from it. Yeah.
Okay. Brilliant. Okay.
But
Well,
from the
I'm trying to go back.
island, from the island where the shrine is on, like it's like a deserted island. There is a boat from there. So did you go from that boat to the island?
Yes. Yeah.
Eventide?
After I did the shrine, I then went straight to. Well, there was a Korok seed. I did the Korok seed that was right next to it, and then went straight over to Eventide Island. Yes, that was my journey. So yeah, this was like we agreed that we would do the Divine Beast, a bit of traveling, and then Eventide Island. That would be this part of our journey. And the second you step onto Eventide, and I mean the second, it's clearly programmed so that the second you step foot on anywhere on the beach of that island, the challenge starts. You are stripped, literally stripped nude of all your stuff. You don't have any gear. It takes away all your gear, and it tells you that there are 3 shrines on the island, and there are 3 balls, pardon me, that go into those shrines, and you have to find the balls, put them in the shrines, and that will complete the challenge. But you have to do it with literally nothing. Only the things you can scavenge from Eventide Island. This was hard. This was hard.
It's kind of brutal. Yeah.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I really enjoy it, but
okay.
It is hard to do. It's because like the weapons you get are like sticks.
Literally. Just like little fucking pikes that break after like 3 hits. And everything is either electrocuted. Well, I don't know about, I did it on my 3rd try, which I was quite impressed with, to be perfectly honest.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. But I spent a lot of time on the island just like waiting things out and waiting for things to happen to like pick my right spot, pick my right moment. And from what I can tell, there are choo-choos, whatever they're called, the jelly things, the jelly monsters that are all different elements. There are lots of them on the island, but depending on what the type of day is, depends on how the elements are. So the second I stepped onto the Eventide Island, even though it was sunny, the second I stepped onto it, it immediately started thunderstorming. And no matter what I could do, it always just started thunderstorming.
Okay.
And whilst it was thundery, all the jelly things were electrified even. So every time I tried to go near one, they would just zap me or something, and that was annoying as fuck.
They're like big damage too, aren't they?
Yeah, huge damage. And then like at some point that it changes to day, and then all the jellies change to fire.
Yeah, I had those too.
Yeah, they were spitting fire at me, and they set fire to literally anything that they touched. So like the woods were on fire and shit. So like there's loads of stuff about this island that not only are you stripped literally naked and don't have any of your items, you have no food, you have no armor, you have no weapons, but also things that haven't really happened before, like the weather changing the elements of the monsters. That's literally, I've never seen that before. And there was just loads of things that I was just like, okay, I wasn't expecting this. But I wanted to ask you, order of what you did the shrines in, if you did an order of any.
So I spawned on the island. So I did it on my 2nd try.
Okay.
The first time I died just before the 3rd shrine.
Okay.
And once you die, you start again from scratch. I'll say that.
Yeah, I should have mentioned that. Yeah, because that's
which I forgot as well.
Thing. Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck? Okay, whatever.
No matter your shrine progress, even if you've done 2 shrines and then you die, you have to do the 2 shrines again.
Yeah. But the first one I got was the one that was by the goblins on like the platforms.
Right at the beginning. Like, well, if you come in the beach, it's right.
Yeah, it's very close to like the beach from the get-go. That was the first one. Along the way I was like catching like lizards and like other like bugs and stuff. Didn't really use them, but I thought I'd collect them anyway just in case. Got some fish, picked up some chests around as well that were in like the water and stuff like that. But did that one first, put it in its hole, which was by like the beach as well. Second one was the big Hinox one.
Yeah. So the Hinox has got one of the balls is attached to his necklace.
Yeah.
Did you fight him? Did you kill him?
So I avoided waking because he's asleep to begin with. So I went up the mountain like above it, which there was some like choo-choos up there and some more goblins. Killed those. And there are 2 rocks up there. So I pushed the rocks down to try and hit the Hinox to do damage. First rock missed, second rock barely scraped it and tickled it and woke it up. So I had to fight it hand to hand. Killed that, and then put it in the shrine where the goblins were above where it was sleeping. And then did the other one last, which was like the goblins high up.
The goblin camp high up. That was the most annoying one. Because those goblins, there's 3 normal goblins, but there's also a blue goblin in there that hits hard. And then there's one of those larger, like lankier goblin. I don't know what they're called. But he hit like a truck.
Yeah, yeah.
Before I got to that point, I'd actually already taken a hit, and Mifa's grace had like activated. So I had my four hearts and the 5 extra hearts that you get. He hit me, and I went down to half a heart. Like, so he hit me for 8.5 hearts in one hit, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
Right.
Yeah. And I died when I attempted. That was my first attempt in which I died. But did you do that with ease? I found that was the most annoying part for me.
Yeah, on my first attempt, that's where I died in that
Yeah.
camp. And then second attempt, I just went for it. I didn't try to sneak this time. I just sort of like went for it, and I
Oh,
managed to just kill them that way. Luckily,
okay.
they weren't very forgiving with their. Oh, actually, I did cheat.
Here we go. Go on then. What'd you do?
I forgot to say I did cheat. When I died the first time, you respawn on the boat to jump back on the island to try a second time.
I
I
didn't.
I did.
Every time I
spawned.
died, I spawned back at the shrine and had to use the boat to get back over.
Oh, maybe I did spawn at the shrine then.
Yeah, I spawned at the
I
shrine
know
and
that
then
I
had to
spawned
travel back
off.
over on the boat.
Okay, maybe I did that then. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. But I definitely had to go from the boat to the beach.
Aaron in chat has just said, I was waiting for you to say something.
I almost forgot about this. So
what did you do? What did you do? How did you cheat?
you can throw a weapon onto the beach from the boat. It doesn't despawn. So you can throw a good sword
that's
onto the beach.
cheating. No.
Go to the island. So I did that.
That's
But is it
fully
cheating or
cheating.
no? Is it cheating or is it taking advantage of the game mechanics?
No, because the
That,
mechanics
I think.
and the trial is to do everything with nothing from the outside the island.
I disagree. I think that's just me being very clever.
No,
And
no. You don't get
so I
a
do.
you don't get a Leem smart top. You don't get a Leem. I get a Rik smart top. You don't get a Leem smart top.
I feel like a knight's sword across, which was like 28 damage or something.
Oh, here we go. No, that's
And I was like,
cheating.
okay, let's go.
Disgusting. No,
It made it much easier to fight the Hinox. I will say that.
I can imagine. So okay, so you didn't do it then. So you vetoed this challenge, is what you're saying.
I don't know. I completed the challenge.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
Because I got the shrine and I got the orb. So technically, I did complete it.
No. I don't agree. I don't agree with that at all.
No.
But fine, sure, whatever. Do you want to know how I did it?
No, I don't care really. Yeah, so much.
Let's just end the podcast here. Fuck it. No, so how about I tell you that I didn't kill the Hinox?
Did you glide onto it?
No. So
Oh.
I have found out that when Hinoxes are lying on their back and they're asleep on the ground, every now and then they have one arm that's outstretched on the floor, and every now and then they'll use that arm to scratch their belly, and then they'll put it back down on the floor. So I snuck onto his hand whilst it was on the floor and waited for him to scratch his belly, and he pulled me onto his stomach.
Okay.
And then whilst I was on his stomach, I then crept up to his neck. I took because he has 2 good weapons on him. He's got a really good bow and a really good club on him, both like 24 damage each or something. And then he's also got the orb. So I then picked up the orb, I threw it off of him, and then jumped and glid off, and then went to the orb and then snuck away. So I didn't actually fight the Hinox at all.
I know that you can land on them when they're sleeping, and if you're careful, they won't wake up.
I wasn't entirely sure if that was gonna, but like he essentially gently puts you on his belly every now and then if he's scratching when he scratches his stomach. So
I didn't know you could take things from them whilst they're asleep.
Oh yeah. So if you manage to get to their necklace when they're asleep, then you don't actually have to fight. You can just take everything from them and then walk away.
Interesting.
Which is exactly what I did. So that's how I got that.
It was a pain to fight.
Yeah.
I will say that it's annoying to fight because
they're
so big and you can't shoot their eyes.
Yeah, you don't have anything.
Yeah.
So fuck that. No thanks.
Okay.
So my first try. So this is my first try. I actually had all 3 orbs and didn't know what the fuck to do with them. On my first try, I got the one from the Hinox. I got the one from the platforms where the goblins were. That one's quite easy. It's really easy to get the orb. You just kill a couple of goblins and it's just there sitting there, so you grab it. And I had both of them there, and I knew where the third. I climbed up the mountain and found where the third one was, and was like, I hadn't found any of the actual like shrine section, like the things to put them in, and I was like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with these things? I have them. What the fuck am I supposed to do with them? So whilst I was looking around, I died. That's when I died to the big guy with the big spear. He just came over and literally just fucking wrecked me in one shot. The second try, I went onto the beach with the immediate intention to go straight to the Hinox and do my thing, get on the stomach. And as I got close to the Hinox, a lightning bolt hit it and it woke it up. And I was fucked because I had nothing. Literally, it was essentially, I just stepped onto the island and a Hinox suddenly woke up and was chasing me. And they chase you. I don't know how much you fought him or how far you fought him around the island, but they chase you all around the island. They don't have like a despawn thing. They literally chase you all around. He followed me all the way up to like the platform where you were pushing rocks off. He came all the way up there. So I glid off and went down to like the other section, and the battle music didn't stop, and he just followed me all the way to the other goblin platforms. So
I thought there was like a what do they call it in gaming when you take them out of their like aggro range?
Yeah, aggro range, like a perimeter almost. Yeah.
No. So there's nothing like that. Okay.
Well, not for me, at least. And then he ended up killing me, so I was like, okay, great. And then my third attempt was when I managed to do everything. So I did. No lightning bolt hit the Hinox, so he didn't wake up. So I got the orb off of him, took it up to the side. There was like 2 or 3 magnet boxes up there, like metal boxes. So I used my magnesis just to throw the box around and knock all the enemies off that area. Okay. So I just killed them all by using the magnet box. And then put that one in the shrine. Went down to the goblin area, killed them, got the ball into the beach shrine. That was easy. And then... So the thing that was annoying me about the goblin camp one was that there were 2 towers that had goblins, and they would alert you basically the second you appeared. They would alert everyone that you were there. So when I was at the previous goblin area, where it was just the platforms and the easy ball to get, there is an archer there on the side. But like you get given bows, but you don't get given any arrows. However, he shoots arrows at you. So I aggroed him so that he shot an arrow, and then I'd hide behind the tree, and when he shot the arrow it would stick in the tree, and I did that like 5 or 6 times so I could just collect arrows sticking out the tree. Then I killed him, and then I took those arrows back up to the camp. I killed both of the the people, the lookouts on the Scouts, towers, to get rid of them. And then I snuck all the way around to where the shrine was. This shrine has like a slab over it, so you can't just put the ball in. You have to get rid of the slab first. So I got rid of the slab. I used time stasis to get rid of the slab, and then I used my arrows, the remaining arrows that I had, to pick out the small ones. So they came over to me without the rest of the crew, killed them, and then I managed to then sneak up, grab the remaining orb that's on the tower in that camp, threw it off the edge, and get down, and no one else saw me. And then when I put it in the shrine, the proper shrine of Eventide Island appears.
Yeah.
So that's how I did
fight
it.
The big
No. Literally, I did it. I never use stealth in games. Like, I just want to point this out. Yeah. Anyone who has watched my stream knows that I never usually choose the stealth option. But I just felt like I had to in this one. I didn't want to go in guns blazing because I don't think I was going to come out on top at all.
Yeah. There was a chest that contained like 10 arrows.
Huh.
I'm assuming.
Huh. Oh wait, no, that was it was behind the rocks, wasn't it?
There was a couple of chests. I don't remember which was which, but there was a chest with 10 arrows. There was one chest that was like in water, like near like the beachy, rocky area.
Oh no, I missed that.
Oh, okay.
No, I found one chest that was behind, like, it was like, when you can see the breakable rocks, if you throw a bomb at them, it'll blow them up. I found a chest
I
there.
didn't see that one.
Yeah, I think that one, it either had arrows or rupees in it, I can't remember. But I did blow that one up and got that chest.
Okay.
So no, I missed those arrows probably then. I just collected arrows from a poor...
But you are more creative in
I was far more creative, yeah.
Scavenging, yeah.
Exactly. So, I'm being clever.
I mean, three attempts to do that is quite good, especially because, like,
I thought, yeah,
it is like in the deep end once again, with nothing this time.
Yeah.
And
I thought because you had nothing, the monsters weren't going to hit that hard. I thought they would give you like low level monsters, and then obviously the first thing you come across is a fucking Hinox, which can literally, even if you've got like 8 hearts, can one hit you if it wants to.
Yeah.
So that was, again, yeah, you're right, completely deep end. Was not impressed with that, but at the same time, we fucking did it. So
Yeah. We fucking slayed.
Exactly. So you then get the shrine, much to my happiness, much to my pleasure. Words, how do they work? The shrine doesn't have a challenge inside it. You literally just go in. There's a chest that gives you 100 rupees. I think it gives you. I think the chest in there gave you 100 rupees. It's literally just sitting right in front of you.
Yeah.
So you just go and grab that, and then you grab the orb, and you can come out. Although when you come out, there's a Rito sitting there who wants to do some challenges with you.
Oh yeah, there is.
Yeah. I did the challenge, but I did like the there was some sweeping challenges I did, but like there wasn't a lot to it, to be perfectly honest. I think
I spoke to them and then walked away.
Yeah, that's fair. I did like he says if you want to become one with the wind, and I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? And then you pay 20 rupees. He sets up like a course for you to do, and you have to go through rings. And if you go through enough rings, obviously you can only do it for as long as your stamina keeps you in the air for. If you go through enough of them, he then gives you a prize. The most I managed was 29, and he gave me 20 rupees for doing that. So he gave me back the money that I spent to do it. I don't know if I hit. There was definitely, if you had more stamina, you could do more. But I was like, I don't have the stamina for this, so I just left.
Yeah. Also, after fighting through the island, you're like, let me just get off this fucking island.
Literally, I was like, I'm done with this island. I just want to get off this. Like, literally want to be anywhere else than here right now. But that was Eventide Island. That was a challenge island. That was the one that we were a bit concerned about when we were planning out our journey, because we're a bit like, is this a bit too early to try and do Eventide Island? Nah, let's do it anyway. And we did it. I'm glad we did it.
4 hearts.
We did.
It's pretty good.
Hearts.
Yeah.
Not a single shrine spent on hearts yet. Should we do a quick stats check then? Should we finish with a stats check? Let's do it. So let's open the game real quick, because I haven't.
Comparison.
Let me save the game and then load it again. Sorry, I should have done this before. I forgot to do it.
I'm doing the same thing right now.
Yeah.
Just a quick check.
Load.
Are you taking the stats from the
loading screen? Right? Yeah, that's what I always do.
Okay. I've also noticed that when you load a game, even if it's from if you save a game and you load the same game a second later, the weather can change.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I just opened the game, it was stormy, loaded it from a second earlier, and it was sunny.
Okay. No, yeah, I didn't know that was the case.
Maybe that's because I left the game open and it went forward a day. I don't know.
Maybe.
Got your
picture?
I think I've got everything. Yeah.
Okay. So, starting with hearts, I think we know this one. I've got 4.
Yeah, I've got 4 hearts too.
Okay, cool. Stamina. I have 2 full rings exactly.
I have 2 full rings too.
Oh, you haven't got any more?
Nope.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
I don't plan on going any higher right now.
I was about to say, I think I'm actually done with stamina in terms of upgrading. I feel like the stamina I have now, apart from doing stuff like that challenge, which I can't do unless I have more stamina, in general, I'm able to climb up most inclines and stuff that I come across. I can swim and do everything. So yeah, I think I'm also kind of done with stamina for the time being. I think I'll focus on hearts next. How many spirit orbs do you have waiting to use?
I have 6, so I can get some health now, but
There you go. I am at 0. I have used all the potential that I can use, so I'm at 0. How many shrines done?
26.
20, which the math's out there.
Yeah,
the math's out there, so I'm at 20. Here we go. Korok seeds. How many have you got?
70.
70?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm on 18.
That's double from last time, though.
It is.
Last time you're 9.
Okay, so I want to say I have now that I know what I'm looking for. I know what you were talking about. It took a while, but now I'm finding the glinty things here and there. I'm finding the weird formations of rocks that don't look right. And if you look into it properly, you can see that actually there are things to do in there, kind of thing.
Nice. Okay.
So I'm starting to see the patterns, but I am nowhere near 70. What the actual fuck?
I just need Hetsu again so I can actually use them.
Yeah, literally. I mean, even with the ones I have, I can only find him once and use him once. So
Yeah.
despite the fact that you are steaming ahead of me in terms of Korok seeds. I say you won't be able to use them, as in like you won't be able to go to the zones where he moves to. I don't think, which is actually, now I'm thinking about it, potentially a little bit of a problem in that if he doesn't follow the way that we're going around the map, we might not have access to Hetsu until quite some time. Let's have a chat, me and you, after the podcast and figure out.
Well, he spawned at that stable, which wasn't in what you researched.
No,
When
it
you
was.
Googled.
It was just that when I was looking at the map, a quick glance, it looked like it was on the other side of the bit that we weren't supposed to go into. That's all. Which is why I was like,
so he
"You're a
does
cheater."
follow a route.
Oh, he follows a route. Yeah, he follows a route.
Okay.
So we'll have to have a look at that because we didn't consider that, and we might lock ourselves out of Hetsu until like the end of the game, which wouldn't be useful. So yeah, just have to consider that. Okay, money. How are you looking for money?
I've got 3,155.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I'm at 1,283. So a lot more than I had last time. But I'm not. Are you spending any? I'm not literally not spending on anything.
No. I mean, I was tempted by. There was like an armor set in that village, Hateno Village.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
Like
but it
an
only
art-
gave you one extra. It was like really heavy armor that only gave you one extra, like one extra defense. And I was like, I don't think there's a point to that.
I've got one of my shrines that I went across, or I came across rather. I found the second piece of climbing gear.
Ooh, okay, I haven't found that shrine. Yeah.
So right now I've got the bandana and like the t-shirt thing for it. So
okay.
I quite like that. I think climbing is quite like annoying in the game. Yeah. So I think having that as a bonus is quite handy.
That's fair. I'm still using the Zora armor, so I need to replace that with something because I'm not swimming 90% of the time.
Okay.
Well, that's the check. Unless you want to do something else.
No, I think that's it, right?
Yeah, that's the check. You are steaming ahead of me. I thought you were going to be way ahead of me on shrines as well. Only 6 shrines isn't too bad because there have been some that I've been tagging but not going to because I've been trying to just kind of concentrate on the objectives. Because I said this before and I'll say it again. When I'm playing open world games, I can get so distracted. And I'm trying not to let myself get distracted. I'm trying to just do the bits that we agree to, which us planning it this way has helped a lot with that because it means I could just focus on the bits that we said we were going to do, which is nice.
Yeah, having like a route and like set areas has been very, very nice.
Yeah.
I have been going off I've not been going like directly from place to place in a straight line. I have been like checking out everywhere.
Yeah.
So in that way, in that regard, I'm like the opposite to you. I'm letting myself get distracted by things that I've not seen before. Because I'm playing it in the evenings very casually too. So
there you go.
That's why I'm ahead.
Speaking of direction, episode 4. So that was what we had planned for this one. We had the first Divine Beast traveling south and Eventide Island, which went swimmingly. I feel we nailed that pretty well.
Yeah.
So for the next episode and what we will be playing and talking about in episode 4, we are going to be traveling west to Gerudo, which is the desert area, and also prepping for the next Divine Beast. So the next one is the camel-shaped one. I should really learn the names of these. I should really write them down. I will do, I promise.
Camel's fine.
There's
one camel in the game.
Exactly. Only one camel. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And then we are going to do literally the entire south part of the map, right? That bottom part of the map is basically open for us this time. Obviously, if you've been watching, you know that as well, we're allowing ourselves to go back into the places that we have already unlocked. So if we want to go back and do some like backtracking, collect some Korok seeds, some shrines that we missed, all that kind of stuff, we're allowing ourselves to do that. But we will only try and in the next episode, we'll only be discussing the bits and bobs we do in the zone, in the leg, the journey that we've agreed to do. So that'll be the bottom part of the map. Unless, of course, something super fun happens when we go backtracking and we missed it the first time around, then we can talk about it.
Yeah.
But that's it. I think we're making good progress. First Divine Beast down. It feels like we're like a proper like quarter of the way through the game now, I feel. Obviously, in terms of what we've discussed, I'm not talking about like 100% completionist of like Breath of the Wild. Obviously, we're probably about like 5% of the way through the game. But like, from what we're attempting to do. We're a good like quarter of the way through. I feel like first divine beast down.
Yeah.
We've done some good challenges. We've killed a couple of Lionels. I think we're on a good.
It's a good start as well, because I do think fighting like the elephant, what's it called, the water blight Ganon thing.
Yeah,
that's like the first. I mean, the first Lionel felt difficult, but the water blight is like the first proper boss.
yeah.
And you fucking nailed that. So I think that's like a good, progression. Piece of progression for you.
It's because I'm fucking amazing.
Yeah.
It's because I'm fucking incredible.
Just try and find some more arrows, because you're a bow bitch, aren't you?
I know. I the thing is, I find arrows. It's just I don't like stock them. The second I find them, I use them because I want to be bow and arrowing.
You can buy them.
Yeah, but they're expensive. It's like 20 rupees for 5 arrows. And it's like, is that really worth it?
But what are you spending your money on?
Nothing. But again, my RPG brain is like, don't spend the money, because the second you spend the money, you're going to come across a village that has like a really nice armor set that you're not going to be able to afford. So, yeah, I'll figure it out. It's fine.
I hope so.
I'll figure it out. Well, Leem, thank you so much for joining me again for this leg of chaos. Cheers, love. Yeah. It's lovely having you here. We'll be back again next week, as I say, episode 4, to talk about the next leg of our journey. But until then, thank you all so much for listening. I appreciate it hugely. If you are on whatever platform we're on Spotify, on what the other ones, Amazon, Apple, Google, please make sure you're subscribed, you're following. If you can rate the podcast, it'll be amazing. If you could rate the podcast 5 stars or whatever rating system they have, please do that. And tell your friends, put up hire out a billboard and tell everyone about 8-bit by bit. Just do the thing.
Spend your money.
Yeah, open your purse.
Spend your bloody money. Also, rating is free.
Rating is free.
You can just do it. There's no,
exactly. We're also on all the social media channels that you can think of. We're on Twitter, we're on TikTok, we're on Instagram, we're on YouTube. So please come and follow us. We're 8-bit by bit everywhere, apart from Instagram, where we are 8-bit by bit _ because some bastard had 8-bit by bit, which is really annoying. Again, I have the domain, I have the email addresses. Instagram is the only place. I won't get into
all places too.
I know, it's so annoying. But yes, we're everywhere. Please come follow us. Also, I know a lot of people have been asking for a map of how we're doing the breakdown, so they can look at how we're doing things and potentially follow the same journey that we're doing. So we'll be doing. I'll be putting that together hopefully tonight, actually. So that will go out today, which is Sunday. If you're listening to this on Wednesday, hopefully it will already be on all of the podcast platforms / the social media platforms. So go and give them a listen and go give them a watch and all that good stuff. But until then, Leem, it's time to say goodbye. So thank you again so much for joining me. I do appreciate it.
Thank you again. Thank you.
No, thank you. No, thank you. And we'll chat to you all very, very soon. Goodbye, everyone.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.